युहुन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् तं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञा भक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चाभिवृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ आप्यायन्तो माङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म औपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Let us start. यश्चित्तेन्द्रियमारुतेर्णकरः नेत्रस्य नेत्रं च तं श्रोत्रश्रोत्रमिमं हृदोऽपि हृदयं वाचश्च वाचं परम् प्राणप्राणमिहाधिगत्य कुशलाः आत्मानमस्तैषणाः त्यक्त्वेमां तनुमाप्नुवन्ति परमं विष्णोः पदं शाश्वतम्। चक्षुर्नाञ्चति यत्र वागपि मनः ज्ञाताद्यन्यत्तथा ज्ञाताद्यन्न गिरोदितं समुदिता वाणी च येन स्वयं बुद्ध्या यन्नमतं च येन तु मता बुद्धिश्रवश्चक्षुषी यज्जानाति न यद्यतो नितिमरुत् तद्ब्रह्मणोपासितम्। वेदाहं बृहदित्यवैति मनसा यो वेददभ्रं स तत् नो वेदास्मि न वेदनेति मनुते यो वेद सम्यक् सतत्। विज्ञातं त्वभिजानतां बृहदभिज्ञातं पुनर्जानतां ज्ञातं मे प्रतिबोध मे तदिति तत् मत्वामृतं विन्दते। So we were looking at the commentary of this verse, and in this context, in the previous class, we saw a few verses from Vidyaranya's Anubhuti Prakasha. So as such, we have to take up the fourth quarter of this verse. So the explanation for 3 quarters are over. The fourth quarter reads this way: Jnanam jnatam me pratibodha me taditi tat mattvamritam vindate. Jnatam me pratibodham etat iti tat mattva amritam. This is not too tricky. So basically he says pratibodham. Pratidinam, what does it mean? So dinam prati. So day after day, right? So every day. So that is what it means. Similarly, pratibodham means bodham prati means in every cognition. So like pratidinam means every day, pratibodham means every cognition. Jnatam me pratibodham etat. See, so etat basically refers to the subject matter that we are discussing. So the one who recognizes this Brahman to be known in every cognition, the one who recognizes the presence of Brahman in every cognition. See, that is how we need to understand this. The one who recognizes the presence of Brahman in every cognition that arises, saha matva amritam vindate. So he attains eternality. Every cognition means it is essentially the state that is being described. So when Brahmendra sings Sarvam Brahmamayam, so that is the kind of state that is being described here. From a purely theoretical viewpoint, how do we understand this statement? So here we have the commentator, which is Ramaraya again. If you look at page 13, right? Page 13. So we came up to this. So we came up to the third line in the commentary. So jnatuhu atmanaha eva brahmatvat brahmani na jnatatva sambhavaha. So up to this we came. So in Brahman you cannot ascribe jnatatvam. So this is what was stated. The next line commences with jnatritva jnatattvayoho samanadhikaranya yogat iti bhavaha. So jnatritva jnatattvayoho samanadhikaranya bhavat. The word samanadhikaranyam is a technical term. Maybe one can translate it as grammatical congruence. One can say grammatical congruence is samanadhikaranyam. So we all know congruence of triangles. Similarly, one can say grammatical congruence. So the vachana should be same. So everything should be same whenever there are two pratipadikas. So then, if see aham brahma, so that is a certain samanadhikaranya. So nilo khataha, that is a certain samanadhikaranya. So the same vibhakti, so same linga, so everything has to be there. Then we use the word samanadhikaranya. Here jnatritvam and jnanatvam, there is no samanadhikaranya. This is what he is saying. So in Brahman we cannot have jnatatvam, so that is what he explained. So then, so can there be jnatritvam? So that also cannot be there. And what he is trying to say here is, between jnatritvam and jnanatvam there cannot be a samanadhikaranya. Jnatritvam, if you look at, so how does the word get formed? So nyadhatu is same, and then we have a strich pratyaya, which basically refers to karta. So nyatritvam. Now this tvam, so that becomes nyatri. So what does this tvam mean? Tasya bhavaha. Tasya bhavaha, what does it mean? Gotvam. No. Suppose you say Gotvam. Similarly, if you want to say Jnatritvam. So all of you are basically listening to the lecture, right? So the process here is, let us say, the transfer of knowledge. Right? So you are a Jnata. So Sneha is a Jnata. So Shriram is a Jnata. So when we hear something, so we become Jnata, right? So Jnana is being shared, and those who receive that Jnana, So they all become jnatas.
Kriya.
So now this jnatritvam is there in every entity. So those who are listening here, we can say jnatritvam is something which is common. So what is being learned? So Advaita. So jnatam vastu Advaita Pratipadyam Brahma. Vedanta Pratipadyam Brahma. Let us see. Now, Vedanta Pratipadyam Yat, whatever it is, so that subject matter is Jnatam. Okay? So suppose you describe what an electron is, that electron is Jnatam. So Jnatam is that entity which is known. Now he is saying Jnatritvam and Jnanatvam. So Jnatritvam is something which is common. Jnanatvam can also be taken as, so among various jnanas. So Jnanatvam is there. So this Jnatritvam, so suppose you want to distinguish. So someone who knows and someone who does not know. So he is Jnata, so he is not Jnata. So this is cow, this is not cow. So this Gotvam distinguishes. Similarly, you can say Jnatritvam. So Tvam basically, so if you want to understand it little more technically, Sakala Jnatru Vritti Dharma. Okay. Sakala Go Vritti Dharma Gostvam. Sakala Jnatru Vritti Dharma Jnatritvam. So Sakala Jnatru Vritti Dharma. But they also actually add something else to this. See, so in the technical definition, they will say Gavetara avrittitve sati sakalago vrittitvam. Okay. So Gavetara avrittitve sati sakalago vrittitvam. So why should we need both these parts? So there will be a detailed discussion in Nyaya Shastra. But anyway, Jnatritvam and Jnanatvam we take. But even here, this Jnatritvam and Jnanatvam, though they sound somewhat similar, and they are connected with the Jnana, a process of sharing knowledge that is taking place. One is the recipient, something which is being received, and so on and so forth. There is no Samanadhikaranya, he is saying. So Samanadhikaranya is basically, technically, if you want to define, it is Abhedanvaya Bodhaka. Okay. Abhedanvaya Bodhakatvam. So Abhedanvaya Bodhakatvam basically, see, suppose you say Raktam Kusumam. Okay. So Shvetaha Ashvaha. So Shvetaha cannot be separated from Ashvaha. Both these words actually convey one and the same thing. So this is how we need to understand. So though there are two words which are employed, so the two words basically convey one and the same entity. So in all the cases, so we have to understand. Okay. So this Samanadhikaranya is something which is very important in various places. So here he is saying Jnatritva Jnatatvayoho Samanadhikaranya Ayogat. Because here it just happens that one is Karta, the other is Karma. Okay. So one is Karta, the other is Karma. In Jnana, there is a Karmani. Karmani, yeah, sorry, in what is it? Jnatatvam, right? Jnatam. So that is, so this is how he is trying to explain this. Then we have Tadetat Brahma. We have in this the verse Tadetat Brahma me pratibodham bodhe bodhe, means in every cognition jnatamiti matva vidvaniti sheshaha amritam brahma vindate prapnoti. By recognizing this Brahman in every cognition, so this Vidwan attains Amritatvam. So this is what he is saying. So here there is something which is very important to understand and learn from Bhagavad Pada's commentary, because it has something which is very instructive to learn. So I will take you to the Bhagavad Pada's commentary for this mantra, because there are some very interesting things that he discusses. So because this audience is very keen in learning various interesting aspects, so I will just take you through this Bhagavad Pada's commentary. So you can, so those who want to open, you can see the commentary of the 4th verse. Here he commences with the statement, Avijñātam vijānatam ityavadhritam. Avadhritam means well understood. So Avijñātam vijānatam. So this is something which is well understood. Yadi Brahma atyantameva avijñātam. So vijānatam means those who know Brahman. Vijānatam avijñātam. It does not become an object of cognition. Now he is asking this question. Yadi Brahma atyantameva avijñātam. Laukikanam brahmavidancha avisheshah praptah. So those who keep studying Vedanta, so like us who have been engaging for hundreds of hours. So if it is avijñātam, so what is the difference between me and a rickshaw puller? Okay. Laukikanam brahmavidancha avisheshah praptah. Avijñātam vijānatam. Iti cha. Moreover, so second point he brings in is, moreover, avijñātam vijānatam iti cha paraspara viruddham. So if you apparently take the meaning of the words, so these two are in contradiction to each other. Those who know, they don't know. Okay? Or rather, so both if you take, it is basically the same problem, both words. So he has just taken one phrase. Then he is asking the question, Kathantu tad brahma samyak viditam bhavati ityevam artham aha. Okay. So Kathantu tad brahma samyak viditam bhavati. So what is the way? So tell. So for that the Shruti comes. That is what he is saying. Pratibodha viditam bodham bodham pratividitam. So the one which is recognized in every cognition. The one which is recognized in every cognition. Okay. Bodham bodham pratividitam. Then what is this bodha? Bodha, when you say, what does it mean? So he explains, bodha shabdena Bauddhav pratyaha uchyante. So cognition, what does it mean? Bauddhaha pratyaha. Bodha shabdena. Bodhaha means jnanam. So jnanam is essentially derived from jna dhatu by lyut pratyaya, which is in bhavartha. Essentially verbal meaning. Knowledge. So in every knowledge, he is recognized. Bodham bodham pratividitam. And knowledge, what do you mean? A certain change that happens in brain, which makes you feel that you have learned something, you have understood something. Okay, this is what jnanam is. Bauddhaha pratyaha uchyante. Sarve pratyaha vishayi bhavanti yasya. Now, bodham bodham prati. So, every antahkarana vritti, whatever that is happening. So, sarve pratyaha vishayi bhavanti yasya saha atma sarvabodhan prati buddhyate. Sarva pratyaya dharshi is just giving a list of certain terms which we have to just carefully read. Sarva pratyaya darishi is the phrase that he is using. So this term is Sarvesham Pratyayanam Darishi. Whatever cognition that happens to you, he is the witness of all this. Okay? The one who is the witness of all the cognition that takes place. So Saha Atma Sarvabodhan Pratibudhyate Sarva Pratyaya Darishi Chit Shakti Swarupa Matraha. Okay? Now, when you understand various things in this light, in this room, let us say, present. So, you may see a bottle, you may see a telephone, you may see Jun, you may see in a book, whatever you can see. But, in all this cognition, there is a prakasha, which is behind it. Without prakasha, any of this cognition will not take place. So, similarly, this Atman has to be understood as the prakasha, the chit shakti behind every cognition that arises in you. The cognition arises because, so here you see a bottle because the ray comes and hits. So similarly, you see a certain pratyaya based upon the object of cognition, that pratyaya arises, but there is something which is anusyuta, and that anusyuta entity is what he describes as chit shakti. So saha sarva pratyaya darishi Chit Shakti Swarupa Matraha Pratyaireva Pratyayeshu Avishishtataya Lakshyate. Understand? Sarvaihi Pratyaireva Pratyayeshu Avishishtataya Lakshyate means in every cognition that takes place in this room. So all this light is involved. So this light is involved behind. So similarly, you can understand this to be Avishishta means it is inseparably connected with this all pratyayas. Okay? Lakshyate na anyadvaram antaratmanaha vijnaya. So there is no other way by which you can understand this pratyagatma. Ataha, therefore, he says, Pratyaya Pratyagatmataya Viditam Brahma Yada. So Pratyaya Pratyagatmataya means the one who is the core person behind every cognition that arises in you, if you understand it to be that person, not as the cognized entity. So Pratyaya Pratyagatmataya Viditam Brahma Yada Tada Tat Matam Tat Samyak Darshanam Ityartha. So this is what is called Samyak Darshanam, as we call in Vedanta. This is a technical term. Samyak Darshanam means good knowledge. It should not be understood that way. Atma Darshanam is Samyak Darshanam. Sarva Pratyaya Darshitve Upajanana Apaya Vivarji. So this is a little, this sentence I will leave. I will just take you to the see, there are a few phrases which he is employing. Okay. So Nityatvam, Vishuddhatvam, so all that he says. Nirvisheshataya ekatvancha sarvabhuteshu siddham bhavet. So the example here he gives is Lakshana Bheda Bhavat Vyom Naiva Ghatagiri Guhadishu. Vyomnaha iva Ghatagiri Guhadishu. So you take a pot, there is some space. So Giri, so between two mountains, you can conceive of a certain space. So within the mountain, inside a cave, you can conceive of some space. So whatever it is, so Ghatagiri Guhadishu. So there are two mountains. Sometimes you will see cliffs coinciding. There will be a space. Whatever it is. So Ghatagiri Guhadishu, there is no difference in space. Okay. So there is no difference. That is what he is trying to say. Ghatagiri Guhadishu Vidita Vidita Bhyamanyad Brahmed Yagama Vakyarthayeva Parishuddhaha. So now he is actually trying to emphasize this point in order to take you to the second level of discussion, that you cannot conceive of this Atman as the Nayayikas or other people try to present it. So for that he is making a certain statement. This last statement is to be understood. Evam parishuddha eva upasamhritaha bhavati. Vidita viditabhyam anyad brahmeti. Whatever we saw earlier. Okay. So the meaning of that and this, they are actually one and the same. And this is the only way you have to understand this. And he quotes a Shruti. Drishter drashta. Shrute shrota. Mater manta vijñater vijñata. So this is there in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay. So in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is something called Ushasta Prashna. So in that 3-4-2. So there, so he is just saying Drishter drashta shrute shrota mater manta vijñater vijñata. So etc. it comes. Iti hi shrutyantaram. Shrutyantaram means another Shruti also reinforces this idea. Now, this is something which I wanted to share with you. So that has not been touched by Ramaraya. So he says, why not understand this mantra in a different light? So that seems to be perfectly valid. So he says, Yada punaha. Okay. Suppose Bodhakriya karteti. Bodhakriya lakshanena tat kartaram vijanatiti. Bodhalakshanena viditam pratibodha viditam iti vyakhyayate. Suppose you were to interpret this way. What is that way? Let me explain this. Bodhakriya karta. Bodhakriya karta. Now you can understand it this way. Sometimes it may so happen that students will be so simply chatting in the room. So while they were supposed to work. Suppose I enter into the office. So having seen me, they will connect once again, they will stop and then they will start working, right? So this is a possibility. So we can see. And similarly, I mean, this workers also. The supervisor, if he is not there, they may be relaxing. The moment supervisor comes, oh, so I will just go into work. So Bodhakriya karta means, so my entering into the office, so can be conceived as the karta of that. Strictly speaking, you are doing. So karta of that study is only you. But I can also be conceived as karta, right? Because in my absence it was not happening. So Bodhakriya karta. See here he is saying Bodhakriya karta. Okay? And Bodhakriya lakshanena tat kartaram vijanati. Now, so you are saying that the presence of some entity, okay? The presence of some entity made you cognize this. So if you are saying there is also light, okay, so even if you take this, so Bodhakriya karta. Without this you cannot anyway see. Similarly, you can just conceive of. So Bodhakriya karteti, Bodhakriya lakshanena, swarupena, tat kartaram vijanati. Tat kartaram vijanati bodhalakshanena viditam. See, bodhalakshanena means by this cognition you recognize this Atman to be the bodhakriya karta. Pratibodha viditam. In every cognition you understand this Atman to be the bodhakriya karta. Bodha is a certain activity, mental activity which is happening. Okay. Kriya is an action. Paka kriya, gana kriya, bodha kriya. So this is purely a mental activity. Bodha lakshanena viditam pratibodha viditam iti vyakhyayate. Suppose you were to interpret this mantra this way. So what goes wrong? Okay. Bodhakriya karteti bodhakriya lakshanena tat kartaram vijanati iti bodhalakshanena viditam. Okay. Pratibodha viditam. That is what it says, no? Okay. Pratibodha viditam. So bodhalakshanena viditam. Pratibodha viditam iti vyakhyayate. Suppose you were to say, he gives a nice example. Yatha yo vriksha shakhaha chalayati savayuhu. Understand? So you don't see the wind. How do you know? So there is a shake in the leaves. Now the shake in the leaves cannot happen on its own. You may not recognize. Wind may be blowing so mildly. Okay. So you may not feel it. So you may say, Kaathottame illa. Means the wind is not blowing. In Tamil we use this phrase. So Kaathottam means the wind is not blowing. But you may see some mild shake, so which is happening there. But it is not sufficient for you. Okay, that is what it means. Now here he is saying, Yo vriksha shakhaha chalayati savayu. So similarly, so the one who makes this jnana kriya happen, he is Atman. Suppose we say bodham pratividitam. Why not understand this way? Then he says, tada, what will happen? Bodhakriya shaktim anat bodhakriya shaktiman atma dravyam. This is what will happen. Understand? Bodhakriya shaktiman. So here this example will be very useful for you. So chalnakriya shaktiman means the one who possesses the strength to make this leave. Okay. So Vayu is a dravyam. So similarly Atman is a dravyam. Bodhakriya shaktiman. So Charanakriya Shaktiman. Similarly, you can understand this way. Bodhakriya Shaktiman Atma Dravyam. That is how we may end up with. But what is it that we need? So how do Shrutis? So there is nothing wrong. Grammatically you can get this meaning. So what is the meaning that will be appropriate, which will be in congruence with all the other Shrutis that you may have to interpret? So that is what we need to understand, and that is what is the brilliance of Adi Shankara. So here he is trying to say, Tada bodhakriya shaktimanu atma dravyam na bodhaswarupa eva. How do you describe Brahman as? Prajnanam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Brahma. So you describe Brahman as Jnapti Swarupa and not Jnana Shaktiman, the one who gives. Okay? Na Bodha Swarupa eva. Secondly, Bodhastu Jayate Vinashyati cha. So this Jnana is something which arises, then goes. Bodhastu jayate vinashyati cha. Okay? So as a result, what will happen? Yada bodho jayate tada bodhakriya savisheshaha. So you describe this Brahman as pure witness, does not engage in any activity. So savisheshaha means, so now the wind is blowing. So wind is stagnant. Okay. So savisheshaha means it is associated with a certain attribute at some point. Okay. So tada bodhakriya savisheshaha jataha atma. So bodhakriya kartrutvam. So now comes to him. Savishesho jayate yada bodho nashyati tada Nashtabodhaha Dravyamatram Nirvisheshaha. Okay, so Atman you may have to declare as a Dravya, and in this Dravya, so sometimes see, it is something like this. So you can have, so we prepare for some big functions. We prepare some, let us say, some huge amount of payasam. Okay, so let us say milk payasam. So we are going to feed some 50-60 people. So a lot of things were prepared. Now there is a certain flavor which arises, okay, when you add various things. So it is a dravyam now. So dravyam, a mixture of various things, and payasakyam dravyam. Now for a few hours, let us say 7-8 hours, it will be okay. So after 17 hours, what will happen? So some other smell will start coming. You understand? So dravyam, so it can become nirgandha in between, and later it can become durgandha. Okay, so we can have, so all these things will happen. So now that is what he is trying to say. So similarly, so bodha kriya tena, so initially savisheshaha. So the milk, original milk, before putting kesar etc. So that has something. After putting kesar, you will have some other smell. But if you leave it for 24 hours, some other smell will come. Another vishesha will come. So this vikriya will happen in the dravya. So idanim bodha kriya vishishtaha. So very simple. Again, let me just tell you. So if you attribute this to Atman, so sometimes, see, sukha vishishtaha Atma. Sometimes dukkha vishishtaha. Okay. My mind is gloomy. So my mind is sulking. So various things will happen. So you cannot assign this. So therefore he is saying, so for this dravyam you cannot associate. You cannot first of all call it a dravyam. Secondly, so all these problems will come. Tatraivam sati, as a result, vikriyatmakaha savayavaha. See, vikriya will happen only in padartha which is savayava. Okay? So to just give you an example, if you take even that payasam, so which was in the initial milk stage without adding camphor, saffron, etc. Later you take. So then when it got spoiled, then also you take. So ultimately, if you go to that last particle level, you will not find any smell. You understand? So this only savayava padarthas. So savayava padarthas will have some guna. So that is why he is trying to say, see, tatraivam sati, this vikriyatmakaha, so implies savayava. Okay, so niravayava cannot have any vikriya. So see, akasha is one of the examples which people give. So akasha took this shape, this took that shape, you cannot say. You can take a paper and then fold it. Now it is circular, now it is this, that, whatever you want to see. Now it is flat. So savayava padartha, you can think of some vikriya happening. So niravayava padartha, it cannot have vikriyatmakaha. If you say vikriya happens, then it becomes savayava. If you say savayava, then anityatva will come. Okay? So this anityatva will also imply ashuddhatva because it is associated. Okay? Ityadayo doshaha na parihartum shakyante. So this mantra pratibodha viditam matam cannot be explained this way. Okay? Because this will be in contradiction to various other things in Shruti. So you have to explain it in such a way that we are able to get what will be technically called as ekavakyata for the entire Vedanta. Okay? So this he says. Further he goes on. And then says, Yadapi Kanadanam. So Kanadanam. So Kanadanam means these logicians, Vaisheshikas, Nyaya Vaisheshikas. What do they say? How do they describe in their scheme of Padartha? So those who may not be familiar, so they have something called Dravya. They have something called Guna. So they basically classify the entities into 7 categories. So Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, Samavaya, Abhava. Okay? So they basically classify into 7 categories. Where does Atma fall in? In their scheme of things, so Atman is basically a Dravya. See, Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, Samavaya, Bhava, Saptapadartha. After that, Dravya he gives. See, Tatra Dravyani Navaiva Prithvi Tejo Vayu Akasha Kala Digatma Manamsi. Prithvi Up Teja Vayu Kalaha Dik Atma Manaha. See, so 5 padarthas. Prithvi Up Tejaha Vayu Akashaha Kalaha Dik Atma Manaha. So this Atma falls into that category. Where does this Jnana fall? So then they list something called Guna. So there is a list of 26 things and one of them happens to be Jnana. Okay. So chapter 24, Chaturvimshatir Guna is what they say. Now let us read this. With this background we can get into this. In their scheme, Jnana is something which arises in Atma. It is a Jnana Guna. Atma is someone who possesses this Guna called Jnana. It is like this. So this paper possesses a Guna which is white. So this cloth, okay, so the binding cloth possesses a certain Guna, and that Guna is Rupam basically. Rupam, this has a certain color, okay, which is saffron. Similarly, they will say Atman is a Padartha which has Jnana as Guna. Jnana as Guna. And when does it arise? So they will say Atma Manas Sanyogat. When does Jnana arise? The Jnana arises in Atman when there is a contact established between Manaha and Atman. So this is how they describe it. Okay. Atma Manas Sanyogajaha. Yadapi Kanadanam Atma Manas Sanyogajo Bodhaha. This Bodhaha is a certain phenomenon which is happening. So you can understand, so that something has to be there for Jnana to arise. So you can say attention, whatever you want to call. Okay. So the attention is essentially Atma Manas Sanyoga. Okay. So there is a certain phenomenon which you can conceive of. Atma Manas Sanyogajo Bodhaha. Where does it reside? Atmani Samavaiti. Samavaiti means Samavaya Sambandhena Vartate. Okay. So Samavaiti is a term which they used to refer to Samavaya Sambandhena Vartate. Now any Guna resides in a Dravya through a certain Sambandha which is called Samavaya. Okay. Guna Guninoho Samavayaha. Okay. So this is how you have to understand. So according to Kanabhuk Paksha, so what is the process? Atma Manas Sanyoga happens. Atma is a Dravya, Manaha is a Dravya. So these two Dravyas, they come together, and in the process of fusion, there arises a certain Guna. Okay. So this Guna is samavaya sambandhena vartate. So suppose you take Tirupati Laddu. Okay. So they put various items, all are dravyas. And finally some fantastic fragrance arises. So which is something which is due to the combination of these. See, independently none of them may be very tasty. But the combination actually gives rise. Similarly, Atmanas Sanyoga gives rise to a certain jnana. Samavaiti. Samavaya sambandhena vartate. Ataha Atmani bodhritvam. As a result. Okay. So Atmani bodhritvam means he is the knower. Okay. Atmani bodhritvam. Okay. Natu vikriyatmakaha atma. So he says, but there is no change which is happening. How do you explain this? So through a certain sanyoga, some process, jnana arose, but atmani na bodhritvam. But bodhritvam may be there, but not vikriya. So this is the difference. The Purva Paksha and the previous thing that we just discussed now. So they took the position that Atma has vikriya. So therefore we said, so this is not possible. Other Shrutis are not in congruence with this and therefore you have to drop. So now Nayayika say, Atmani bodhritvam. He also said bodhritvam. They also say bodhritvam. But without vikriya they say. So how do you understand? You can understand it this way. See, dravya sanyogepi. Okay. Okay. This is very simple. So let me just state. So suppose I have this book. So if I place a pen on this book. So I place a pen on this book. So this Atmana Sanyoga, something like this, two Dravya Sanyoga. So Lekhani Pustaka Sanyoga. So I take this. Okay. So is there any change in the book? Whether it was there or it was not there. So you can visualize something like this. But it made a difference. See, in appearance. So this having pen, so this is not a clean slate when they say. You write something on the slate. So there is something which you can see, but it does not affect this. So that is the kind of thing. Vikriya means a change in Atma. Atmani bodhritvam syatu, parantu Atmani vikriya na bhavati. So you can defend this position. Okay. It is like this. See, we have nowadays we have some things like Nirlep. No? So Nirlep is a certain brand. You put anything that does not stick to the vessel. Understand? You can add anything, but in most vessels there will be something stick. So if you put something, so it becomes Nirlepa. So whether it is there or it is not there, so it doesn't matter to that entity. So even if you pour out, it will be like that. So you can think of like that. Okay. So natu vikriyatmakaha atma. Okay. Dravyamatrastu bhavati. Ghata iva raga samavayi. Oh, he gave an example. Okay. Ghata iva raga samavayi. Raga samavayi means you put some color. Ghataiva raga samavayi. You can think of several examples. You have the screen. So various things appear in the screen. So Sneha's face, Aradhana's face will appear one by one. So product it goes. The screen remains as it is. No change in the screen. But there is a change in perception. Okay. So similarly he is saying Ghataiva raga samavayi. So in a pot, so we have some color. Ghataiva raga samavayi. You apply some color. Remove the color. Take some other color. Asmin pakshepi. Now he says, so though you say that Atma avikriya, some of the Shrutis which say Atma is avikriya, that can be satisfied. There are some Shrutis which say, so Vijñātru, Kartru, Bhoktru, there are some Shrutis. So you will be able to fit most of the Shrutis. It is not that this Nayayikas don't recognize Veda. So they try to interpret slightly differently. So that is how he is trying to present. Then he will say, even in this interpretation there is a problem. What is the problem? So Dravyamatrastu bhavati ghataiva ragasamavayi asmin pakshepi achetanam dravyamatram brahmeti vijñānamanandam brahma prajñānam brahma ityādyaha śrutayaha bādhitasyuh. Vijñānamanandam brahma prajñānam brahma. So you are saying that whenever the sanyoga happens, it arises. Okay, you can defend avikriya, etc. But then, so prajñānam brahma, how will you explain? For you it is not prajñā. Prajñānam is guna. So it arises due to some dravya sanyoga. So that is not tenable. Okay, so that is why he is saying this paksha is also not acceptable. Prajñānam brahma ityādya śrutayaha bādhitasyuh. Okay. Atmanaha, moreover, Atmanaha niravayavattvena pradeshabhāvād nitya sanyuktatvacha manasaha smrityutpatti niyamanubhavattihi apariharya syat. So he is saying Atma is Nitya. Even in the Nayayika Paksha, Atma is Nitya. Is he Vibhu or not? Vibhu. So where is Manaha? Manaha is small entity. Paramanu. So Vibhu Padartha and this Paramanu Padartha Sanyoga, can it be avoided? So how will you explain? So Etat Sanyogat Bhavati, suppose you say. So Sanyoga is always there. So suddenly some smriti comes, suddenly it does not come, suddenly I understand, suddenly, how will you explain all this? So there is a problem. Okay? Anupapattihi means, so it is not logically defendable. Okay? So there is something wrong, fallacy in the reasoning. Apariharya syad samsarga dharmitvancha atmanaha. Moreover, so Atmana Sanyoga, when you say, so the Sanyoga itself is not acceptable. Okay? Samsarga dharmitvancha, the one who possesses samsarga. Samsarga dharmitvancha Atmanaha Shruti Smriti Nyaya Viruddham Kalpitam Syat. This is not in consonance with Shruti Smriti Nyaya. Okay? So there is some samsarga happening in Atman, sometimes samsarga not happening. This is not possible. Why? Asango nahi sajjate. We have this, right? Sayesha neti netyatma grihyo nahi grihyate, shiryo nahi shiryate, sango nahi sajjate, sito navyathate. So there are so many shrutis which are in contradiction. In Bhagavad Gita he is quoting Asaktam sarvabhrit, Asaktam sarvabhrit chaiva, occurs in 13th chapter. Asaktam sarvabhrit, Nirgunam gunabhoktrucha, something like that. Okay? Itihi, so that Asaktam sarvabhrit, I think it is Sarvendriya gunabhasam, Sarvendriya vivarjitam, Asaktam sarvabhrit chaiva. That is how we have, okay? 13th chapter. Sarvendriya gunabhasam, Sarvendriya vivarjitam. So Manaha is an Indriya. That samsarga is a problem. See? Sarvendriya gunabhasam, Sarvendriya vivarjitam, asaktam. So Shruti Virodha, Smriti Virodha. Then he says, Nyayasya, Nyaya Virodha, he says. What does he say? Gunavat gunavata samsrijyate na atulya jatiya. Whatever be the samsarga that you can think of. in loka, gunavati gunavata samsrijyate. So dravyoho sanyogaha means every dravya possesses a guna. Gunavat padarthaha gunavata padarthena samsrijyate. So that once you accept this position, then you may have to say Atma is Gunavan. Gunavata samsrijyate. So it is a Nyaya Virodha. And Atma, suppose you say is Guna. So then Lokanyaya Viruddha. Gunavati Gunavata samsrijyate natu atulya jatiyam. Atulya jati. Atulya jatiyam samsrijyate. Anyway, so we can take it at various levels. Okay. Ataha nirgunaha nirgunam nirvishesham sarva vilakshanam. Okay. So nirgunam nirvishesham sarva vilakshanam kenachidapi atulya jatiyena samsajyate ityetat nyaya viruddham bhavet. This is how the Atman is described. How is he described? Nirgunam nirvishesham sarva vilakshanam. केनचिदपि अतुल्यजातीयेन संसृज्यते इत्येतत् न्यायविरुद्धम्. Okay? तस्मात्. So what is to be concluded? नित्यलुप्तज्ञानस्वरूपज्योतिः आत्मा नित्य अलुप्त. Sorry. तस्मात् नित्य अलुप्तज्ञान. So he is in the form of Chaitanya all the time. It is how you have to understand. Okay? Nitya alupta jnana swarupa jyotihi atma, and that Atman is Brahma. Okay? Swarupa jyotihi atma brahmetyayam. This meaning, so is something which can be upheld only when you try to interpret pratibodha viditam as it was interpreted by me. सर्वबोध बोधृत्वे. Okay, saha bodha swarupaha sarvabodha bodha sarvabodha bodhritve atmana siddhyati nanyatha. Tasmat pratibodha viditam matam iti yatha vyakhyatayeva arthaha asmabhihi. Asmabhihi yatha vyakhyataha saeva artho grahyaha. So that is the only meaning which you can give for the sentence, which will be in congruence, in consonance with various other sentences in Shruti. So not like the way Nayayikas try to interpret. I think I will just stop here. Okay. And then we will continue in the next class. So there are some more other interesting things. What is Akhandakara Vritti? So in the next sentence you will see it says Bodho Buddhi Vrittihi. Yada yada ham brahmasmi Akhandakara Buddhi Vrittir jayate tada tada brahmatma sakshatkaro jayate vishaha evam sati pratibodham maya brahma vididame vedi manyate vidwan. So this we will take up in the next class. Om सर्वे सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम